Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a lovely day so far. We certainly have been, with beautiful weather this week. Cold at night, but beautiful sunny days, and it's now getting on for, it's just past 5 o'clock in the evening, so afternoon, evening, whatever one you call it. And the temperatures are dropping now because there's more shade around, so where there's shade it's cold. It's getting a bit cooler now, but we've had glorious, beautiful days up to 22 degrees C. Absolutely lovely. This morning we had beautiful mist everywhere, and it was so atmospheric. It really felt like that exciting part of autumn. So today I just wanted to update you on what I've been doing today. I did get some work done. Not much, but I got enough done to feel that I've actually achieved something today. As you can see, the black currant at the back, I have completely chopped that back because I needed to gain some more space over that bed to be able to put some other things in, and it needed doing anyway. And that black currant, having left it to naturalize like that without any pruning, it didn't give me very good black currants this year. Not like the smaller ones in the pots in there. So I'm hoping that it would come back next year, and if not, it doesn't matter, because I have taken cuttings and stuck them in the tomato pots where I've cut out the tomatoes. I just chopped it down to the ground. I didn't take the roots out, I just chopped it right the way down and left the soil in the pot to deal with another day. But I thought, well, I might as well just use the pots as they are over winter and use them to sprout new cuttings for the blackcurrant, because I'd like to grow lots of blackcurrants. I'd even like to grow a lot more of the blueberries. I don't know if I could take cuttings the same for them as I do for blackcurrants and josterberries. And the gooseberries, you just cut a piece and stick it in the ground, really. So we'll see anyway. I mean, they're past I think they're even past taking cuttings at this time of the year. There are some more of the blackcurrant cuttings I've put in there and in the other tomato pot, and I've put some around the other side too. So I'll have plenty of blackcurrant bushes. The feverfew over there is still looking absolutely lovely. Really liking that. Strawberries putting out runners everywhere, which is great, especially inside. So there'll be loads of new strawberry plants for next year. Buttons? No, that might not be fruitwood and might not be good for you. No, I don't want you getting that down in your belly. No, not fruitwood, not allowed. No, leave it, okay? Now she's looking quite disgusted. No, you're not chewing sticks that I can't see if it's fruitwood or not. Not good for you. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, I did check the Chilean guavas today, and look, isn't that pretty? That's beautiful. I think there's about 5 of them still, and they are getting quite bright, so I'm a bit worried the birds might spot them now that they've got colour to them. This, which I am sure is an apricot. I tried to lift the pot today and it looks like the root's gone underneath, so I'm going to have to gently and carefully dig around that root to get it out and put it in a bigger pot and under the cover for winter, because I don't know that would survive a winter out here. So and I don't want it this close to the cherry tree anyway. That I cut a bit back from the lower layers of the cherry tree just to open it up a bit more and let more light in. But I think I'm going to wait until all the leaves fall off, then I can see where the bones of the tree is, so to speak, so that I cut out the right bits, because I don't want it to be too high. I want it to be only as high as we can reach to harvest. I only want it to be that high. I don't want it to go higher than that, so quite a bit of it has to come out. We'll shred up and use the chippings in the garden. My sage seems to have recovered a bit this year, so I should take another cutting really and keep that indoors, or just buy another, because technically I bought that as a supermarket bush and stuck it in ground. We've had that one now for 4 years, so that's not bad at all. Everything else is okay. I haven't done much yet. I did cut back that tomato over there as well. I have put the dried chamomile, a bit like hay that's dried out, I've put over there just to cover the soil of the loofah. This I'm a bit worried about. Look at that, it's growing lovely, but I don't know what that is. I hope it's not rot. Let's see how it goes, because we might, if it doesn't get too much of a cold snap, we might get a loofah out of that this year. There are 2 of the fruit, but I don't think they will make it. They're not going to grow fast enough to develop before the winter sets in. So I'm not sure. I might just have to buy some more seeds as backup just in case, and start them off earlier next year. And I will put them nearby the grapes, because that corner right there is our south facing corner. Square on, it's southeast facing, but in that very corner is south facing. So let's hope I can put the loofah there next year, and they might do better. Still getting strawberries off the little alpine over there. The fig looking still happy, hasn't lost its fruit in the last gales. Oh, the japonica false quince are over there, looking nice and ripe. So I'll get in there soon and get those out. I'll just chop the whole thing into pots, stew them up, and strain out the liquids so that I have pectin for jams and jellies. I would love to. I mean, I did see a extreme dwarfing proper quince that Suttons are selling, but they're so expensive. They're around 30 odd pounds, but I desperately want one, so I've got it on my wish list. One day I'll get my very dwarfing quince tree, because that would be fine. Ideal for like patios and small gardens, they said, but I want it anyway because I love quince. I remember them from when I was a child. There you go. I haven't done anything with this bed except, I've sort of organised the hazel into a kind of arch kind of thing. I can't call it an arch because it's not arch shape. It's a kind of thing. Okay, excuse me. Don't want to give you travel sickness, motion sickness. But there you go. I've crisscrossed those 2 bendy ones from corner to corner, and then I've put 2 cross ones across the front and the back. And then there's a little bracing one there. I still need a lot to make this tidy and stable for the winter, but you know, it's rustic. It's extreme rustic. I twirled the little branches around the sides of the posts, the poles. So yeah, it'll be interesting. By the time I'm finished and by the time flowers have grown on there next year, you won't even see it that, it won't look that bad. The corn I've left to seed. I hope it works. There is at least one cob, this one, that feels like it's got some good kernels in there, so let's hope that ripens nicely on there. The amaranth, I have chopped quite a few bits off because some were fallen over in the gales we had, so I've chopped them off and I've put the flowers in a bowl and the basket over there. I'll show you in a bit. And I've started getting the seeds out, and it was actually quite therapeutic doing that. Okay, the Brussels sprouts are looking fine, and so is the swede. They're not looking too bad. Let's hope they pick up and grow a bit more before the winter, because everything will slow down in us growing through the winter. As you can see, there's a lot more space and light there now. Huge amount more. It's quite a difference that makes, actually. The beans are well and truly doing well now. I've taken a couple of the dry brown pods off for seed, so let's hope the rest of it dries nicely very soon. and then I'll save them for cooking, I think. It'll be very interesting to see how they do. The Jerusalem artichokes are about to flower. They're getting flowers on the top there now. That broccoli doesn't look like it's going to make it through till next year. It's looking very, very sad. But you know, we'll keep it going and see how it limps along. This Swede, look at that. That is absolutely huge. I can't wait to have it. I think that's practically ready, actually. And there's another one just behind it there. And the others are still tiny. They don't look like they've grown very well. But those two are huge, so they can't be very long waiting to be harvested. The parsnips are growing all right. Not bad. They're growing. The celeriac, not swelling too well. Let's see how they're doing. Yeah, the slugs and the wood lice are just demolishing them. I don't know that they're going to go anywhere, but we'll see anyway. Okay, just wanted to show you the amaranth quick. More tomatoes. Look at that. That's the last of all of them harvested now. And there's more tomatoes there. Okay, the amaranth. I've been taking the flowers. Let me see, I'll just take that off. It's not easy one-handed. And then just rubbing them till the seeds come out. Until there's nothing else coming out. And this is actually quite relaxing. It's really weird. Now when I want to get all the husks and things out, separate them from the seeds, look at that, right? All I have to do is this, okay, shake it to the bottom and blow it. Look at that. And you're left with the seed. Isn't that amazing how easy that is? Okay. There you go. Look at that. And that's just out of one big flower and two smaller ones. So that's quite a lot of seed already. Yeah, that's quite a bit of seed already, just from those few little flowers. The little bits I can just pick out and chuck out. But there you are. Amaranth. Very good pseudo grain. The amaranth we're used to seeing is actually a different amaranth, I think. But it's still an amaranth, so this is still a pseudo grain and has all the essential amino acids that are needed, so can use that instead of rice or stuff like that. But I think such small grains would probably be better mixed in with other grains. There you go. That is so nice. It feels good. I just can't stop fiddling with the with the amaranth seeds. They're a pseudo grain, so not a true grain, but there you go. So there's a whole laundry basket there full for me to get on with. There is still two plants in here with tomatoes. Them I'm letting stay. The nasturtiums, look at them, worth growing just for that colour. Isn't that gorgeous? My kiwis are now losing their leaves lower down. Top is still pretty good there. I don't think they like the wind in the gales. Things are surviving. There you are. Still a bit of colour under the cover here. Still a nice place to sit. The garden, there's obviously the washing on the line. The off-grid laundry drying. Nothing like it. A clear, dry day and stick it out. Even if it doesn't dry properly by the time you bring it in, at least it's almost completely dry and much less time in the tumble dryer. And it'll have to go in the tumble dryer to be aired a little, otherwise it'll feel damp when you've put it in the cupboard and go to use it. These pods are almost complete. Yep, they're dry. I don't know what they'll look like on the inside, but they should be done. I shall get them in before the rain comes again because they're nice and dry. So they're ready. That's the cobra. The other ones were the Cherokee Trail of Tears, so we'll see how they go. I like the Cobra more for the fine beans, and the Cherokee I think I shall try to see if they will make good cooking beans. You never know, it's worth a try. Just a quick note before I go in, because dinner is going to be done soon. Roasting some vegetables. A note to self, really, that I have been concerned, as I have said before, that I need to step up my preparations, not just for winter, but for the coming year, because there's going to be a lot of upheaval, and because we're not given enough facts or straight answers, I want to make sure that I've got quite a few things sorted out and ready just in case, because things are going to be all up in the air. Nobody's still giving us straight answers, and I think I'm going to concentrate on my food storage, so that if things do hit the fan come March next year with the Brexit stuff, because nobody can make up their minds, the politicians wise, while they're all fiddling about with the details, I think I'm just going to make some preparations so that if we do end up with a bit of struggling and availability of stuff because people can't get their facts straight and organize things properly, then whatever money we do have could stay for the bills, and we don't have to worry about food and the availability of it. So it's just something that I've been thinking about, and I don't like to jump onto a bandwagon of any kind. I don't like to go crazy with fear prepping. As I've said before, I want to try and be wise and sensible about this stuff, but I do encourage everybody just to give it a thought about what are the things that you use daily that you couldn't go without in case availability. I was just thinking, actually, when we think back to just March this year when we had that severe snow, how ridiculous it was that people just for not even, about a week's worth. I mean, okay, fine, there were some people that struggled for quite a few weeks with being able to even get out because they were up in the mountains and stuff and in the valleys. But for most of us, generally speaking, it was hardly a week's worth of snowed in, and yet just a few days of snowed in, and people were rushing to the stores and stripping the shelves, and you couldn't get bread, you couldn't get milk, you couldn't get a lot of stuff because people had went to panic buy stuff. The deliveries couldn't make it to the shops because they couldn't get access, it was too full of snow. And just a few days of chaos, of heavy snow, and people were going gaga. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. And yet it did open our eyes as to what kind of things we would need if anything like that happened again, things that we take for granted. And it was the kind of things that were stripped bare in the shops, that people panic buy. And I wonder how much of that stuff people panic bought ended up in the bin because they didn't store it right, or because they didn't know how to use it, or So that kind of thing got me thinking about next year. It won't just be a few days or even a few weeks of chaos as people sort things out. It might be a few months, it might even be a year. So I'm thinking I need to step up my food storage. And so I'll encourage you, as I said a minute ago, thinking about any time that you might have experienced where there was no availability of something because of something or the other happening. Think about the things that you really can't go without. Think about long-term food storage. I will again in the bottom box put a reference to some people who do this very often and are much more experienced than myself. So they are really fantastic at talking about long-term food storage. And we adapt it to our individual needs and wants and likes, but the technical stuff is still very helpful. so that we don't waste the things that we store, because the problem with storing stuff is that a lot of people get it wrong. So I'll be trying to do a bit more of that and focusing on that and letting you know what I'm doing, so that and I'd like you to let me know what you're doing as well. If you're watching this video, let me know what you're doing and what your thoughts are. Don't go crazy, but just be wise, be sensible, and plan ahead, so that if anything happens, you can have a bit of peace of mind. If it doesn't, brilliant, fantastic, and you've still got a food storage in case something else happens in your life of whatever nature. But it's better to have peace of mind, and just in case, because I mean, from experience, we know here people can go absolutely gaga because of all the scaremongering and the indecisions and the confusions, and I don't want to be dealing with the consequences of that when it comes to crunch time. So I'll encourage you all, just do a little bit of prepping, mild stuff, no doomsday nonsense, please. All right, lovelies, have a good day. I can smell my dinner. Bye.